guys, we're gonna be Are you guys ready to have the interview?
Yeah, yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
Absolutely. Are we following, are you there? Sorry. Are we going through the questions in order or?
We can, yeah, yeah. Okay.
Okay, sure.
So, can you introduce us what is Digital Greyhound Racing? What inspired you to develop this game?
Go,
Um,
go, Steve.
yeah. So we've been in crypto for quite a few years now.
Ooh.
And yeah, we're looking at doing something. We started a project in 2017, another one in solar and blockchain, and we're looking at doing something else. And we love the NFTs and sort of been following a few other racing NFT games. And we realised that no one had basically done greyhounds yet. So
Mm-hmm.
me and Shane both grew up with our fathers training greyhounds. So we thought it would be a good idea. There was a spot in the market. That's basically how it started. So then from there we brainstormed a few ideas and come up with Bet NFT Digital Greyhound Racing.
Oh, interesting. I'm really excited for your launch.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so are
yeah.
we. It's not long off now, that's for sure.
So,
Been a long road.
so what minting of the Greyhound is since the minting of the Greyhound is on March 18 AEDT AM, is there any whitelist spots available? What do you need to do to get into the whitelist?
Well, so I'll answer the first bit. Yes, the mint is on March 18th, 7 a.m. The whitelist is actually going to be before that, 24 hours before that.
Mhm.
Um, we're running on Australian Eastern Daylight Saving Time, so
Mhm.
we're from Australia. And Steve, whitelist spots, that's where you come into it.
We've still got a few left. What we can actually do, if you like, Isabel, we could probably give a few away after the call, if you like, to some
Oh,
of
that's
you,
good. That's
some of the
great.
listeners. What do you reckon? Wrap a couple
Yeah, I
off?
reckon it's a
Yeah.
great idea.
Yeah, yeah, for
They're
sure. So,
interested. There are
yeah,
yesterday there are people who won in the Greyhound raffle event yesterday night.
Oh, right,
they
oh,
were
yes,
nice.
yes.
they're excited actually.
Fantastic.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Great.
that's great.
Well, yeah, we could give up, I don't know, what do you want to do, Steve? Maybe 10, 15 spots? We got enough room for that on?
Ooh,
Yeah, yeah, I reckon we could do 15 spots. I think
15
we're getting
spots.
pretty full. So if you want to raffle off, that's fine.
Okay.
Great.
Okay. So, in terms of minting, what tokens do you need to use for minting? Is it WETH?
Yes, yeah, exactly. So wrapped Ethereum is what because it's on obviously on the Polygon
Mhm.
chain.
Mhm.
And we're just trying to get the gas fees down. And we've got a partnership with Umbria,
Ooh.
and they've got a bridging service on the site. So if you've got Ethereum on Ethereum, you can swap it over cheap. You just need some Matic, and you can swap it over cheaply on the actual server itself, on the website itself. So that's all set up to go. And it's
Um.
just you'll find that just below the minting section, you can swap that over.
Okay. So there are people who's asking, is the gas fee expensive in WETH?
No, it's less than a cent.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
So
very cheap. We can swap it on
okay.
there.
There's like ETH gas fee is really expensive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yep, outrageous. But you don't just be aware that they will need a little bit of Matic
Mm-hmm.
to mint. But as I said, it's only get a couple of cents worth of Matic. That's all you're
Mm-hmm.
going to need.
Okay. So can you tell me more about the tokenomics and token launch of Digital Greyhound Racing? How many tokens would be minted and when?
Like I'll go on for you, Shane.
Yeah,
You
so
know?
there's 220 million tokens.
Mm.
If we're going over the token itself and not the mint, are you talking about the actual NFT mint or the token?
How many tokens would be minted and when?
Okay, so there's probably two answers to this question. So the NFT, the mint that we're conducting first up is the NFT mint for the Greyhounds. So there's 42,000 Greyhounds.
Mm-hmm.
We're only releasing 2,000 of those at the first mint. So if you jump on the website there, you'll see that it's a lotto mint spread across the four bloodlines,
Mm-hmm.
and it's kind of potluck what you get. Uh, so yeah, if you jump on the website there, it'll certainly give you more information. In terms of the tokenomics of the token itself, the
Mm-hmm.
NFT token, that again is on the white paper. That's where the 220 million come into it. Um, we're starting that off at 10 cents as a pre-sale,
Ooh.
and that will be locked up until the beta stage. And then once the beta stage is there, the actual it will release out to the public at 25 cents. So we've got a real incentive to get on board early and get some of the NFT tokens in your wallet to get ready to play the game.
Ooh, it's so excited. I'm so excited for it. So, how much is one value of token? Is it this token used only by for breeding? What will be the
No,
governance token and the
so
utility token?
yeah, so we've only got to because on the platform we're using wrapped Ethereum and our token. So our token's going to be used in game. Obviously, we'll have free races where people can win some tokens, but the tokens in game you'll be able to buy greyhounds. You will be able to breed greyhounds. You'll also be able to buy our other add-on NFTs. We have trainers and training facilities coming up later on
Mm-hmm.
as well, and a lot of those NFTs will only be able to be brought with our token. That's how we're going to use our utility token in that regard. So it'll be for purchasing in-game items that you won't be able to get well any other way.
From holding our token. Yeah, that's right. And just getting back to the actual NFT mint, so it's 350 US in order to participate in the Greyhound mint. And as I mentioned before, the token itself isn't out yet.
Mm-hmm.
It's so the mint is only, a day or two away. The token itself isn't going to be launched for probably another week or two
Mm-hmm.
after the mint.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll have more details on that to come. We're purely just concentrating more on the NFT mint at the moment.
Okay. So, when the Greyhound is launched and the minting, can they play the game or they have to wait for the token to be launched for them to be playing the game, or they can play already and wait for the token to be launched?
Yeah, so the game itself is still, if you look at our roadmap there, the game
Mm-hmm.
itself is still not going to be produced till quarter 2. That'll
Mm-hmm.
be the beta stage.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, we go to the full 3D version where all the things will be in place in quarter 3. So um, at this stage, it's really just getting a hold of your Greyhound
Mm-hmm.
at the very cheapest rate that it will be, um, and keeping it there in wait for the game to come. Which,
Mm-hmm.
as I said, the beta stage is only second quarter, so it's not too far
Mm-hmm.
away.
And plus, also, if you purchase in the first mint, you become a what we call a founding member,
Mm-hmm.
and you'll get your own PFP with that as well,
Mm-hmm.
and that the PFP will give you added benefits too going on into the future.
Mm-hmm.
It's also in the white map the benefits there, so you'll get you'll be able to get a draw for the whitelist spots for our next mint. Plus, there are a lot of other benefits as well. So.
Okay. I'm excited for that one. So,
Yeah, so just to add to that,
okay.
yeah, so the founders drop, as we call it now. If you're part of that, as Steve says, you get PFP. You also get 50 um, bet NFT tokens that will be
Mm.
airdropped also into your wallet as an
Ooh.
incentive also to kick you off. And then you get other things like, as Steve said, early access to the next mint and special other things like the Bet NFT booster add-ons that we can touch on later. So
Mm-hmm.
it's
Yeah.
definitely a big advantage coming in early for this first mint.
Okay. So there are four different bloodlines of DGR. How does one differ from the other?
So there are the four bloodlines that they come in different rarities.
Mm-hmm.
So the G1, which is the black top, that's the rarest dog. It's only 5% of the
Mm-hmm.
pool is the G1s, and then it goes all the way down to the G4s, half your luck. Each blood, so the bloodlines, the rarer the bloodline, basically the better overall stats that the greyhounds will have. So for the lucky people that get hold of the G1s, we think they'll be rare and quite expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, the better the bloodline, the better offspring they'll breed as well. So not only they'll be better racers, they'll actually breed better offspring too. So um, yeah, so that's basically the difference. The difference, other than the look of the dog as well, they have different skins for each bloodline. But yeah, they will have the rarer the bloodline, the better it will race on average.
Mm. So are there any restrictions they can breed to any G1 to NG2 or G3, G4, or is it supposed to be the same breed for them to breed one another, or it can be
Yeah,
anyone?
No,
no,
yeah,
that
sorry.
yeah, no,
Yeah, I was
go
just
mate.
going to say, yeah, with that, if you breed a G1 with a G4,
Mm-hmm.
that's fine. You can mix bloodlines. It just
Okay.
becomes the lower bloodline though when you breed it.
Mm.
Yeah, it's just to keep the value of the higher rarity dog being the G1 and the higher, the
Mm-hmm.
G2. So it's important to keep the Genesis dogs above the rest.
Oh, okay. Are there cooldowns like breeding? Are there cooldowns when it comes to breeding?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So at the moment we've got it. The breeding, the females can only breed once a month, and the
Mm,
males
okay.
can stud 3 times a month. So we're really conscious about not flooding the market.
Yeah.
Obviously, we have to keep a balance between the community not having enough greyhounds to race,
Mm.
but not flooding. So, and we think that's pretty good. Plus, we also have a burn function in place as well. So we've got a retirement system where you can voluntarily retire a greyhound.
Oh, really?
Yeah, if it's not performing well. So basically, in lieu of that, we'll give you NFT tokens in lieu of that. So it just helps us get rid of like the greyhounds, the floor, keep that price up. So yeah,
Hmm. So, how would we compute the attributes for winning? Are there stats for each greyhound?
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Go mate.
Sorry.
There you go.
Oh, I was just going to say, yeah, there's stats for each greyhound, and as Steve mentioned, the stats are better the higher the breed, the rarer the breed. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Clearly, wherever you finish in the race, you will get given a percentage or a point system in place where it matters where you come in the race to then help determine where your next race class will be.
But the attributes themselves, they'll be hidden, and you'll need to work out
Oh, it's
what attributes
hidden.
your dog has in regards to what distance it likes to race over, what track conditions it likes, what sort of box draws it prefers, and things like that. So that will need to be worked out by each individual user. So you'll need to use some skill in first determining what distances and what tracks are good, and so on, and then from there working out what kind of races you want to enter to give yourself the best chance to win.
Okay. Is it possible to improve the attributes of the Greyhound by burning the tokens to upgrade it? Will the win rate of the Greyhound be displayed?
So you won't be able to upgrade the attributes by burning tokens, but we do have it in our in our roadmap, and like after the game's done, the next part of the game is to introduce trainers. Um, land and training facilities. And so by purchasing a trainer or the training facilities, that will allow you to increase attributes of your greyhounds. And so say your greyhound jumps out of the box a bit slow, you can purchase an NFT that will help improve that specific stat along with the trainer. So there are definitely ways to improve the dogs. And if you have the trainers and the facilities, you can then also rent those out to other players so they can use them to increase their own greyhounds as well. So it just gives people another form of revenue.
This is it's so the marketplace, will it be also like organized, like you won't the manager or the investor will not, will not be worried about fixing the the shares of the scholars, like it's already automated, they will be
All
fixing.
yeah, all automated and
Mhm.
similar to like a Pegasus type of rental
Mhm.
system there.
Mhm.
We've got something similar to that in place where if anything gets rented out, it'll go in an escrow wallet,
Mhm.
and then people will automatically disperse funds back out, or dogs that get rented out. So yeah, so it's all kind of peer to peer
Okay.
in a way as well.
Yeah, yeah,
It's a less hassle, like yeah, less hassle for um fixing the, it's already automated. Yeah.
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 And there's a couple of so there'll be a marketplace where if you want to go and rent one off the marketplace, you can.
Mhm.
And guilds and managers can put them up there. Plus, we'll also have a direct system where if they already have their scholars, they can just as long as they've got their address, they can paste it over their address in, send the dog to whoever they need to, and then set up their own
Mhm.
percentage rates, whoever they decide between the two people. But that will be all very easily done on the site.
All right. Thank you. What are the different earning opportunities and the Greyhound? Will there be staking? Would breeding be profitable?
So generally in these games, obviously breeding's a big one. Breeding, particularly for these Genesis greyhounds, will be very profitable because we won't release. And as shown, so we got 42,000 greyhounds, but we're not going to release those fast. So they'll be over 5 or 10 years they'll get released. So they'll get released very slowly, and the growth from the business will actually come from people breeding. So they will that's where the money for a lot of people will come.
Mhm.
Obviously, you've got the races, and the good greyhounds will make good money as well, and we'll have bonus prize pools and so on. Plus, we'll have free races for people as well with our tokens. So there's plenty of ways in that regard. Obviously, you've got the rental system that we talked about.
Mhm.
People can rent them out, and then we have the training system as well, where you could foreseeably, if you wanted to, just become a trainer and not even race greyhounds at all, and just rent
Mhm.
out your training facilities to other players. Um, and that, yeah. So there are a lot of options there for people to get a return on their money.
Oh, I'm
And just so those trainers as well, they're NFTs, so they can be sold and traded to other people as well. And that
okay.
they'll be quite rare. They'll only be able to purchase their tokens, and they'll be hard to get hold of. We won't have a lot of those out. So if you get hold of one, you should be able to rent it out for a good price. For a good price.
Uh, Interesting. I'm excited for that one. Can you tell me more about the breeding mechanics?
You want to know, Shane?
Can you tell me more
Um,
about the breeding mechanics?
the breeding mechanics. Okay, I think we kind of touched on it before, but I
Mhm.
think in terms of breeding, Steve spoke about the amount of times the females and the males can breed.
Mhm.
We spoke about if a G1 mixes with a
Mhm.
G4, what it becomes. It comes the lower class.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, I'm not sure. I think we've kind of maybe covered that,
Yeah.
have we?
Yeah.
Or have I
I
I
think
missed
there's
yeah.
that?
no.
But like, I guess.
Yeah. The only other thing is we have breed levels. So what happens is all the
Mhm.
Genesis greyhounds they have a breed level of 001,
Mhm.
which denotes them as Genesis. When two dogs breed together, so if two Genesis dogs breed together, as in that example, the G1 with the G4,
Mhm.
it will become a G4 half your luck, and the breed level will be 002.
Mhm.
And then as you breed two dogs together, what it will just combine the breed level numbers together
Mhm.
to give you the next tell you what your breed level is. It sounds complicated when we talk about it. It's in the white
Yeah.
paper, but it's really simple. Really, it's very very simple. And once the game's up, you'll see how it works very easily. And then that way, it's easy for people to look at how far down the gene chain the greyhound is.
Mhm.
It'll make it very simple to see how far away from a Genesis dog the your greyhound actually is.
All right. So, what other developments should we expect from this game? What is the advantage of Greyhound over other P2E games?
Well, I think with what we have, I mean, we've had a look at other guys on the market already and looked at what issues they have. Um, I guess we have, of course, we have the breeding and the renting, and we're going to have different track conditions and an expansion of our metaverse with the NFT add-ons that we spoke about there. Um, we've also got things like the dedicated races. We're having tournaments, the retirements that we spoke about
Mhm.
to keep the in check the population, so there's not a saturation of dogs at the bottom end. Um, what else have we got? I think that's.
Well, and I think also the way we're running the tokens with the Wrapped Ethereum and our NFT token,
Mhm.
I think that's going to be a really solid feature of the platform as well. It just means that we don't have the volatility of some other, um, just having our own native tokens, which obviously we've seen in other games. So, but it also helps people who want to, scholars particularly, want to come in and
Mhm.
grind for their own tokens, gives them that opportunity. But for other players who just want to play, with the Wrapped Ethereum and jump into the big tournaments and so on, they have that option as well. So I think we have the best of both worlds there.
All right. The important question always asked by the investors would be the token burning to keep the value of the token stable. How do you plan to address that?
So for us, we won't be having any token burns. Where our burning will be focused solely on the greyhounds. With our tokens, we envisage it more. People will obviously want to cash some out, which is fine, but we envision it much more that there'll be so many good benefits for keeping it in our system with being able to buy NFTs or have cheaper breeding and so on, is that people can grind up, cash out what they need, but keep in there and keep adding to that pool so then they can buy their own greyhound or get their own trainer and become
Mhm.
a truly part of the ecosystem. So we won't have a burn mechanism as such for the token. We'll just make sure that it's very very useful in the game, and
Mhm.
people will prefer to keep it in the game than actually take it out as often as possible.
It'll just be like a circulating utility, really,
Yeah,
that will just keep going around.
Okay. So that so that the players, the scholars will not worry about the token going down.
that's the whole idea of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Plan.
yeah, yeah. And we will have we'll have bonus prize pools. And the thing is, if you're racing for tokens, we'll
Mhm.
have other races as well. You'll have bonus prize pools of tokens in that to make it worthwhile people for race using tokens over a Wrapped Ethereum all the time.
Mhm.
And we'll give many other benefits for that to keep that the price of that as high as possible.
Okay. Who are the strong backers of the Greyhound NFT? Why should investors feel safe to invest in your game?
Oh, we've got a strong team already
Mm.
with where we currently at. We are expanding. Um,
Ooh.
if you followed our socials, you might have seen that we've signed the partnership there with Umbria. We've also signed a contra sponsor deal with Greyhounds WA, which is
Mm-hmm.
going to give us great media exposure trackside and also the TV audience. And then also after the mint, we're going to announce the expansion of our dev team and basically the whole entire team when we employ a big firm to come on board and help with our current devs to develop the game and all the algorithms that go with it. So there's plenty of plans in place to expand the team a lot larger and quite quickly, to be honest.
Yeah, and also at the moment we've got a couple of really uh, big Z guys who are helping us out. They've been a great help, and Umbra is like a quite a big deal too. You know
Mm-hmm.
that their bridging service is excellent, and they've come on board to help us with all a lot of the smart contracts and so on. So it's been excellent.
Okay. So, do you guys have any questions? So, okay. So I think the viewers are really excited to be part of Greyhound journey. They are excited to be joining. They are really interested to be to be a scholar in Greyhound. Um, do you guys have any questions? If there's no any questions, probably the team will be announcing about Greyhound.
And if you want, I don't know if you want how you want to raffle off the whitelist spots, but you could announce
When
that if
can
you want to
we?
run
Oh
it up.
yeah, we can. Also, we're gonna be doing a raffle, um, for 15 spots. Am I correct? 15
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
spots.
yep. Do 15 spots, and the only time frame there is that um, well, we're less. So it's going to have to be
Yeah.
done within 24 hours, probably less,
24
probably
hours.
20 hours.
Okay.
Yeah, yep. We kind of need to get that locked away.
All right.
So yeah, we're on quite a strict time limit there. So
Okay.
we'll leave that with you to
All
who
right. All
you
right.
feels best in your community to give out.
All right. Thank you so much
Thanks
for.
so much,
Yeah, so
Isabel.
thanks for having
Thank you
us.
so
Great to
much.
speaking,
So
and we
excited. So excited for Bet
Yeah,
NFT.
so
great. Thanks for the
we'll speak.
opportunity to have us
Thank
on.
you so
Yeah,
much.
we'll speak.
Okay, cheers. See you
Cheers.
guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
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 So that is Bet NFT, guys.